CM Ghana Navy, Kenneth Opoku. The second in command is Sub-Lieutenant Harrison Na. The color ensign is Sub-Lieutenant Richard Abwaji Sapon. The conducting warrant officer is Chief Petty Officer Class 2 Kwa Richard. The color escorts are Petty Officer Class 2 Amure Koko Daniel and Petty Officer Class 2 Owusu Emmanuel.
Defense Staff General Thomas Opong Pepper.
Shall we please be upstanding for the national anthem and the 21-gun salute, as mentioned earlier. All uniformed personnel are to salute. Seated. The parade commander is marching to ask permission for the inspection of the parade.
Presidential inauguration ceremony guard of honor performed. Guard mounted by the Ghana Navy. 3 officers, 96 rank and file with the Ghana Navy regimental band in attendance, ready for inspection. Lieutenant Ghana Navy, Kenneth Opoku, report Your Excellency. Aye, Your Excellency.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this morning we have the Navy Regimental Band on parade. It's under the command of Sub-Lieutenant Doris Iboni.
introduction over, may I have your permission to march off the guard? I, Your Excellency.
Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, this marks the end of the inauguration of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as the President of the Republic of Ghana and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, and the Vice President, Professor Naana Opoku-Agyemang. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, let's all remain seated as the President takes leave of us. Shall we please be upstanding for the national anthem? All uniformed personnel are entreated to salute. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, let's all remain seated as the President takes leave of us. Please be seated. After the President leaves, the Vice President will also depart. After the Vice President, followed by the Speaker of Parliament and the Chief Justice, her ladyship. Other dignitaries will depart as protocol demands. Please, let's clear the way for the President to leave. President will also leave, followed by the Speaker of Parliament and the Chief Justice, her ladyship. Your Excellencies, distinguished invited guests, our heads of state and dignitaries will depart in order as they came in. they came in. The first to depart will be the President of Nigeria, followed by Benin, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, Côte d'Ivoire, Congo-Brazzaville, Democratic Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Egypt, the Gambia, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Kenya, Liberia, Mali, Mauritania, Niger, Namibia, Rwanda, Senegal, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, Togo, Botswana, Barbados, Morocco, and Gabon. Of state and dignitaries would depart in this order: Nigeria, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, Côte d'Ivoire, Congo-Brazzaville, Democratic Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Egypt, the Gambia, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Kenya, Liberia, Mali, Mauritania, Niger, Namibia, Rwanda, Senegal, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, Togo, Botswana, Barbados, Morocco, and Gabon. His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor will also depart, followed by his Naana Ado Dankwa Ekufuor-Addo and Her Excellency ceremony for today's program. Thank you. A historic moment here at the Independence Square, where we've just seen the investiture of the President John Mahama and the Vice President, Her Excellency Naana Opoku-Agyemang. It's been a historic moment because for Ghana, this is the first time we are having a female Vice President, and the
public sector reforms that will respond to that need. I'm encouraged by his own word that he does not take the votes of Ghanaians for granted, and he says that he shared this platform before and he would want to be remembered for doing something different. Parliament is currently sitting here. Ordinarily, where you are granting this interview is wrong, because this Parliament sitting, we are still following proceedings as the Speaker directs them. So this would be our prayer, and Ghanaians should pray for a John Mahama success, as his success will reflect an improvement in the quality of life of the Ghanaian. My pleasure.
Haruna Idrisu, the MP for Tamale South, Ablekuma South MP also seated here. Thank you very much for all of you for coming, and a lot more honorable members of Parliament. This man is said to be the person who may be the next majority leader, although things are not yet firmed up yet. Honorable Mahama, guys, Honorable Mahama, I haven't joined us. John Mahama has made a commitment to turn the tides, the fortunes of the people. Do you believe, with all the goodwill that have been amassed, John Mahama is up to task to deliver on this mandate?
Well, I mean, the verdict of Ghanaians is that he is the one who can do it. The overwhelming votes that he has received is testimony to that. So let's all support him. We believe that with this level of goodwill shown by our fellow African leaders and the international community and the business community, we should be seeing an outpouring of investments into Ghana. And you see that his speech focused on positioning Ghana as a reliable democratic country that you can invest in. That essentially is the theme of the message that he has just given, that Ghana is a reliable democratic country that you can invest in, because our democracy has been tried and tested and proven to endure and can stand any challenge. And with that, investors know that whether there's a change of government or there's no change of government, their investments are going to be secure. Then the next key thing that he said is that he's going to focus on stabilizing the microeconomic framework, and that will have an impact on the stability of the dollar, on inflation coming down, and then private business can pick up. So we believe that if all these things really happen as we have promised, we will change the fortunes of the people of Ghana.
You will be shepherding this through the House for him on his behalf. The name has come up quite strongly as a person who will be the next majority leader. What are you saying to that?
Wait till it happens.
Thank you very much. Honorable Mahama, they're telling me about the key themes that Dramani Mahama has spoken about. I'll speak to more and more members of Parliament who are all here. You see the mention. Honorable Kofi Adams is here. Mention. Well, Avenya said you tell him Mensuro, and I'll come to you pretty shortly. But Chief Whip, you've heard the president speak, and he has outlined what his main focus is going to be. Do you recognize also the tough task that is ahead for him to be able to turn the tide and get things running?
Well, I mean, the president has promised to be frontally frank with Ghanaians. And he has already started demonstrating that. I'm sitting here with my colleague, Honorable Jinapo, who is our lead person on energy. You and I know that he kept warning that what we are doing is piling up a lot of challenges there. So maybe when you finish talking to me, you can talk to him. I believe the challenges of our country are not hidden to anybody. The economy is in a very bad shape. We have energy problem, which we are just managing. Unemployment, our infrastructure is very dilapidated. But what we promise is to do whatever we can, whatever is possible, to make sure that we address the needs of the people, especially to create jobs and to create hope for young people. That is what he's promised. So as the days come, he will outline the major anchor policies to back those things that he's so passionately talking about. Yes.
And Dr. Paul, recently you have been quoted in the media saying that the energy sector is going to be the biggest challenge for John Dramani Mahama. John Mahama has spoken and talked about $3.5 billion in debt. That is an uphill task. Some would say that perhaps the country is going to go into doom so right upon the entry of John Dramani Mahama. What are the assurances that you're going to deal with the energy sector situation?
Well, then I have bad news for you. Just today, the confirmation we are getting is that we have only 5 hours of fuel stock. If you look at heavy fuel oil and distillate fuel, we don't have up to 2 days. And so in 2 days' time, we are likely to run out of fuel. This administration has not ordered any fuel as we speak. And it takes on average 4 weeks for the fuel to arrive and 4 weeks for the fuel to be treated. And so we are in a very serious situation. At the transition, we brought this up. The outgoing administration assured us that they had procured some parcels of fuel. Today, right after President Mahama assumed office, and I served on the transition, my checks indicate that we do not have fuel that can cater for even 2 days. So clearly we have a major problem. And this is an incoming administration. Even if you order the fuel, like I'm telling you, it will take about 8 weeks. So we are in for real trouble.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Let me talk to the deputy whips, Menshro, and then I'll come to Honorable Doyo Kuju. Menshro, your both are spoken. Let me talk to Honorable Doyo Kuju. I mean, gender is very particular for you, and you've spoken about it. Naana Opoku-Agyemang has taken the mantle of leadership. What do you think it signifies for women leadership in Ghana?
In fact, today is the most happiest day in my life. In fact, Dramani Mahama has made me proud. Very, very proud. And the way he has started, I know God is going to help him to sail through and is going to deliver on his promises. Jane in the kitchen to support His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. They are going to do excellent work. And Ghanaians will be happy because the joy that has filled my heart and the belief that I have gotten that this pair can deliver Ghana and reset Ghana is extraordinary. So we thank God for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's life, and he should keep it up. He should continue to blend the whole governance. Now he has already garnished the presidency with a woman. So he should continue with all the steps that he will take. And I know the women will make difference because wherever there is a man and a woman and there is a work going on, check how many times the man will go and come. But if the woman sits and is working till the woman finishes, he will stop moving. So I know the women will do the difference and we'll see a different Ghana this time.
Thank you very much, Honorable Doyo Kujo, who is very particular about that. And then now I have the two deputy speakers. When it comes to Parliament and the lawmaking process, these two are almost always involved. There is Bernard Ahiafo, always moving the motions, and there's always Honorable Opoku-Agyemang, who is usually presiding over the House when the lawmaking process is ongoing. And the two of them are going to help Alban Bagwin steer the 9th Parliament. Let me start with Honorable Opoku-Agyemang. Congratulations on your election as second deputy speaker.
Thank you so much, my brother.
So you've heard the President-elect. Obviously, you are in the minority. And your side have said you will hold the government's feet to the fire, but certainly you are not going to be obstructionists as some have suggested.
Not at all. One of the main functions of Parliament everywhere in the world is to play the role of oversight. So if the minority is playing that role, it's the good of the country. So I don't think anything that we are doing for the good of the country, I think we have to do. We are not going to necessarily obstruct government business, not at all. And for me, that is not my business. We are all looking for the good of Ghana. So anything that will project Ghana, make Ghana look good, and make all the citizenry see the development we are all looking for, we are all for it. Yes.
Speaker, now let me talk to the newly minted first deputy speaker. You are always doing the I move for amendments and other things. Now you're going to be in the chair usually when some of these things are done. And as the tradition has also been, you are perhaps going to chair the appointment committee. I've read a bit of the standing orders that said it will be chaired by the opposing party, and I don't know the dynamics that are going to come. But how prepared are you, those of you in the majority, to spearhead John Dramani Mahama's agenda, those ones that will come to Parliament, particularly confirming his ministers, so that all of them can get to work as soon as practical?
Well, thank you very much. As the First Deputy Speaker, my responsibility is to support the Speaker and work with him very diligently and reliably to steer the affairs of the House very dispassionately. So that is exactly what I am going to do as the First Deputy Speaker.
They had also said that they've described the NP minority as micro-minority, but you are promising that you're going to treat them fairly, always. And I know you're a fair man, always in the House. You try to reach out to your colleagues on the other side. There's going to be fairness in the House. What beside it?
I believe the description cannot be tied to the fact that they will not be treated fairly. The description was as a result of the number. NDC having absolute majority as against the number that they have, very unprecedented. That is what called for their description as micro-minority. But that has nothing to do with the treatment of fairness or unfairness in the House. As a Deputy Speaker, I look forward to treating everybody fairly as a member of Parliament.
He'll be on PMS Press pretty shortly. We'll confirm the details. Honorable President, Honorable Vondi, and then Honorable Dr. Dominic Ayine. Yes. Your name is in the running for office of the Attorney General. I'm not going to talk about that with you, but you've listened to the President, actually. Yeah. He has spoken about his agenda to develop the country. He has the goodwill. You see the number of African leaders and international leaders who are all here. How do you think that those of you in the NDC are going to support him and his message to transform the country?
Well, I believe that their presence here is a testament to their commitment to his cause. Of course, having been, the president of this country before, and then having established in the past relationships with some of them, I believe that it's as a result of that friendship that some of them, or most of them, have come to support him. So that solidarity is there. And, we live in a global village, as they say. And I believe that with the kind of relationship that he has established with some of them, there is that goodwill, and definitely I'm sure they will assist him in realizing his ambitions and the vision that he has outlined for the people of this country.
Let me put you a bit on the spot. Justice delivery in Ghana is so crucial now to a lot of people. Currently, protesters against illegal mining are standing trial. John Dramani Mahama had promised that as soon as he takes office, he will instruct whoever will be the Attorney General to file noli prosequi in some of those. Recently, there's also been a letter from the outgone president to the Council of State. We have no confirmation yet about pardons and all that. About pardons for some people, of course, that's his prerogative. But how fair do you think the justice system is going to be under John Dramani Mahama?
Well, definitely he has promised that he will appoint a minister of justice who will be fair and even-handed, in running the affairs of the justice sector of our country. And I believe that he's committed to that. You recall that in the course of his presidency, he did very well in, assuring that the judiciary remain independent. Okay, the independence of the judiciary is crucial in the administration of justice. And so I believe that when he has now taken over the reins, of governance, he will commit himself to respecting first the independence of the judiciary. Secondly, making sure that the judiciary is well-resourced in order to deliver justice, all right? And then also ensuring that he's not packing the courts with partisan hacks, who will deliver justice on the basis of partisanship, but on the basis of the fairness and merits of the cases that come before them. That is what I think a John Mahama-led, Minister of Justice, will deliver for this country.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dominic Ayine. And talking about justice delivery, this is the man John Dramani Mahama has picked to lead his oral team. You heard your colleague, the minority leader, tear into that, describing it as unconstitutional, needless, and that those of you on the committee are just filled with a drive on personal vendetta. You haven't responded to that yet. What do you make of that from the minority leader?
Well, first of all, let me say that the historic nature of today's occasion should not be lost on us. It's a surreal feeling. It's really a very, very proud moment to be a Ghanaian. we have today made history. For the first time in the history of our country, we have inaugurated a former president and someone who is so experienced, so well versed, so steeped in the governance of our country. So you can expect that there will be no experiment, there will be no, if you like, try and error. This is a president who you can have confidence that from day one he will hit the ground running. Then we have also, for those of us who have young daughters, made history today. We have the first vice president of the Republic of Ghana inaugurated today. And I am so proud that she...
And that was a North Tongue MP, Samuel Okujetua Blackwater, the man who's leading the oral team. They're interacting.
logic about this moment?
Well, this is historic. Historic in the sense that this is the first time in our political history for a president to be given such a mandate, massive endorsement. Not only himself, but his party too. Historic because this is the first time we've gotten ourselves a female vice president. It's never happened in our history. And
in fact, I don't mean to cut you, but the Constitution never anticipated that we'd ever have a female vice president, referring to the aspect of the Constitution that talks about the vice president. It's always a him, he, him. So there was never a day that the curators of the Constitution ever thought that there could be a she. So instead of making it a he or him, it should have been he, she, or that.
Well, to some extent, that tells me that our Constitution is not gender friendly, because not only men can aspire to the position of a vice president. A female can too, just as we've seen. So it's historic. Look at the number of presidents across Africa who came in here. Unprecedented. It has never happened. And this is not my first time of running commentary for such an occasion. I've never seen it before. And look at the number of people who came around. This is is it 30,000 capacity? Yes. Arena?
Beyond that.
Yes. You see, so today is a historic day.
So what do you think about the setup, the arrangement, the security? I mean, it was chaos in the morning with the security heckling us back and forth, and finally it's all been done and dusted. What do you think about the setup?
Well, the setup, when you talk about the beauty of it, fine. Security-wise, because this is an incoming government. It hasn't gotten its whole security setup ready. So I believe that they had to dwell on the outgoing system with its security to do this. It's normal. It's normal. But I think, look, getting or providing security for occasions like this is not easy. I've been there before, and I know how or what it takes. So let's give ourselves a pat on the shoulder and say well done to ourselves.
So you have also been a journalist before. You are retired now, but you were presidential correspondent in one of the NDC administration. I would want to find out from you what different you think the president would be coming on board this time around with.
I think this president has a legacy to leave us. The overwhelming endorsement Ghanaians gave him is a show of confidence in what he can achieve. So he needs to do all that he said he could do. First, resetting our economy, because a lot of us are suffering, and suffering financially. So we need that. Reset, and also let us all reset our mindset. It is not all the time about what the government can do, but what can you also do in your own small way? We must stop certain things like certain corrupt practices. I don't have to go and pay money at the ministry for someone to give me a file that I need. All those things must stop. It's part of the whole resetting agenda.
It looks like expectations are so high when it comes to the Operation Recover All Loots. Do you think that those expectations can be met?
Well, looking at the membership of the committee and its chairman, I have no doubt that they will achieve what they have set themselves out to do. I wish them well, because we have witnessed something unprecedented in this country when it comes to state capture and loot. That must stop. And we must set examples to tell others why that should not be done.
Thank you so much. We also wish you well. Wishing the government well. We also wish you well. Yes. Would you like to talk to us? Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yes. All right. So we still have some citizens who. Yes. So your name, please.
My name is Samuel Kweku Upon Krante.
Okay.
Yeah. By the tennis fraternity, I'm known as Salasi.
Okay. So I see you draped with the NDC colors.
Yeah.
Party, or you're just a citizen?
By blood, yes.
All right. So, what stood out for you when, with reference to the president's inaugural speech?
For me, was his humanitarian side, being, in spite of all the lambasting, all the insults from the opposition, or should I say the outgoing government, you can see he was so humorous that he made reference or inference to how they started, of which I can pinpoint one. That is, was it hot issues or something when they were both young? And the fact of he being still bowed and in the spectacle, and that tells you somebody who has a forgiving heart. For me, he said a lot towards, how do I say it, building Ghana. But for me, it was that aspect that really captured me, that to have that forgiving heart and forging ahead as Ghanaians. Yeah.
So what are your expectations in the new administration?
To say I have expectations would be, I don't know the word to use, but would be unfair to this coming administration. Because I know the economy is that bad. I know so how, because I'm a businessman myself. If not for it at all, I have family that sends money and I know what the economy looks like. So my expectation would be that we all rally behind the government into recovering or resetting of the country, just as the slogans or one of the slogans of the party says.
So another historic moment was the fact that now we have a female vice president. Do you think that can do the trick?
Yes. In our local parlance, we say Abadaye, right? So yes. For me, Naana, Her Excellency, represents a mother, represents, for lack of a better word, Abadaye, like we say in our local parlance. So of course, why not? Why not? I mean, I feel it's the best. Somewhere women can champion their energy or seek for redress and what have you. And if you listen to her acceptance speech when she was nominated at UPSA, she said she's there for everybody, and that's how I think we got the Mami Odende or whatever. Yeah. So I think yes, now women have a representative. We are not saying the men don't represent, but at least women have their mother they could go to, and once there's a mother, then all the children will be satisfied.
Thank you so much. I mean, let me talk to the